there's always a highlight of Shaka Hislop's week, and that's the transfer rate of Shaka, isn't it?
Is it? Okay, we'll go with that then, Mark, shall we?
We will. This is what we have today. Number 1, Sergio Ramos to Manchester City. Yes or no?
No. I honestly don't. I honestly don't see that making any sense. And this has been a link that has been around since last summer, and it didn't make sense then. Makes even less sense now, given the emergence of Diaz and Stones. I just don't see what Sergio Ramos brings to City that they need. It just doesn't make sense to me.
You're not going to play him ahead of John Stones and Ruben Diaz in that partnership right now, so I don't think he would want to come in and play in League Cup ties at Gillingham on a Tuesday night. So you're not having that one.
No, that was a quick one for me, Mark.
That's fine.
Listen, I do not discount and do not take lightly Ramos's credentials and all the things that he's won and what he can bring. This link with Manchester City for me, it just doesn't fit. I can't see it.
Number 2, Eden Hazard to leave Real Madrid. Now, if we'd said this yesterday, prior to the stories about Carlo Ancelotti going back there, it might have had a different answer. What do you make about this one, assuming Ancelotti goes back to the Spanish capital?
I think Real Madrid have an issue with Eden Hazard that is very similar to the issue they've been dealing with Gareth Bale for a number of years. The contract that Eden Hazard is on, nobody's going to want to pick up. Even the 100 million transfer or whatever it is that Real Madrid paid to Chelsea, nobody's going to want to come close to giving any of that money back. So listen, maybe there's a club out there willing to take a chance on Eden Hazard at the right price, but I don't think that price Real Madrid would agree with in terms of transfer. I don't think that price Eden Hazard will agree with in terms of what that may look. So it's a whole lot of moving parts to make that move. Real Madrid will have to take a discount. Real Madrid will have to pay a significant part of his wages. And given the issue that they continue to grapple with Gareth Bale and the issue that everybody's grappling with financially, right now I just don't see how even the most imaginative of agents makes that deal with.
Number 3 on the ESPN FC transfer rater, and it's a manager, Antonio Conte to Spurs. Now, Conte left Inter because of potential wage cuts and money being an issue. Would he go to Spurs, who, as it stands, seems to be a strong case that Harry Kane might not be there next season?
For me, no. I think Conte would go there and be great for them. I think Antonio Conte is exactly the type of manager that Spurs needs. The trouble for me is Daniel Levy. I don't think Daniel Levy wants somebody coming in there and telling him he's not doing a good job and saying that they need more money if this club wants to be successful and questioning a lot of what he does. Daniel Levy wants, if not needs, somebody to come in there, sing from the same song sheet, not cause too much of a public stir, and just keep Spurs ticking over nicely, threatening to win silverware, but most importantly, not threatening Daniel Levy's grip on the football club. And the one thing we know about Antonio Conte is he is not that person. So while I say footballing-wise, it's a perfect match, I just don't see how it happens.
Oh, so much of that you could apply to Mourinho as well, and they've just got rid of him, and look at the mess that's been left there. So number 4 is kind of linked with number 3 because he played for him at Inter, and it's Romelu Lukaku, who was a fantastic signing for Antonio Conte, developed a magical partnership with Lautaro Martinez. But now that Conte's gone, Lukaku has been linked with Chelsea. Is he the number 9 that they need?
No question, Chelsea needs a number 9. But I will say that Romelu Lukaku will go wherever Antonio Conte goes. And if come August, Antonio Conte isn't in a full-time position, Lukaku stays at Inter until years and the transfer window opens up. That allows those stars to again realign. So for me, we can speculate about Romelu Lukaku all we like, and I think there will be no shortage of suitors for him either this summer. But ultimately, Lukaku will want to go back with Antonio Conte, where Conte got so much out of him. And Lukaku has been totally transformed as a player, both on the field, how he's received, and how the press and how the media speaks about him. Everything about Lukaku over the last couple of years, I think, has been down to that partnership with Antonio Conte. He'll want to renew that. So otherwise, unless you're willing to get Antonio Conte as your manager, I'm not sure that you stand much of a chance of getting Romelu Lukaku as your number 9.
Now, before we get to number 5, which is very interesting, we have a rare transfer rater super double deluxe, because if Conte goes to Spurs and then brings Lukaku with him to replace Harry Kane, then transfer rater 3 and 4 actually go together. That's a rarity for this, Shaka.
What's transfer rater 3 and 4?
Conte and Lukaku.
Oh, well, yeah, that works. Like I say, wherever Conte goes, Lukaku's going.
There you go. Number 5.
Let me throw a spanner in the works here. Hold on.
Yes.
How about
to
Everton, Lukaku, back to Everton? Where's that fall in your rater, Mr. Donaldson?
Do you know something, or are you just throwing things out there?
The one thing I'm certain of, nobody has ever accused me of knowing anything.
The Shaka curse. I haven't heard of that for a while. But
I'm just throwing that out. I'm
doing my best to try and delay this as long as possible, because I've heard some daft things over this summer. Well, I say summer. I mean, I think Britain's had 2 nice days and everyone's on the beach. STEVEN GERRARD to Everton.
Behave yourself. Behave yourself.
It's someone after clicks. Come on now.
As much as Merseyside have had players who represented both the red and blue sides, including our very own Don Hutchinson.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a manager who's managed both football clubs?
Without wanting to sound daft and not knowing my Merseyside history, I'm going to say I don't know, in case there was someone way back when. I don't think there has been. It certainly in the kind of modern day football there hasn't been. So thank you for throwing that in. And look, this is just a all over.
Yeah, and listen,
going to Everton.
Trivia aside, I don't see Steven Gerrard managing Everton. No, I just don't. It doesn't make any kind of sense to me. It just doesn't align in my own brain. So I'm not sure where that came from. But I right now, I just don't see that as being at all a possibility. Which brings us back to Antonio Conte and Lukaku to Everton. I'm going to start my own rumor mill here, Mark. That's what it is.
No former Blues or Reds boss has ever gone on to work on the other side of Stanley Park.
There you go. And it's not going to start now.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.